There's something interesting many people begin to notice after the age of 60, yet it's rarely talked about openly. It's not that memory suddenly disappears, it's that the brain seems to slow down just a little. You still remember things, you still understand situations clearly, but sometimes your reactions aren't quite as quick as they used to be. A familiar name may take a few extra seconds to come to mind. Small print might require a little more light to read clearly. And when the light becomes dim in the evening, your eyes seem to have to work harder just to see things the way they once did. Many people assume this is simply a normal part of aging. But in reality, modern nutritional science is revealing something quite remarkable. Our brain and our eyes can function much better when they receive the right nutrients. Among those nutrients, one in particular is being mentioned more and more in research on healthy aging: lutein. Lutein acts like a natural protective shield for the eyes, while also supporting areas of the brain involved in attention and information processing speed. When the body absorbs enough lutein, many older adults notice small but meaningful improvements: clearer vision, better focus, and a feeling that the mind is becoming a little sharper again. The wonderful part is that you don't need to search for rare or expensive foods. In fact, there are 3 very familiar foods, ones you may have been eating for decades, that naturally contain a rich amount of lutein. In today's video, we're going to explore 3 of the best lutein-rich foods that may help support brain function and protect vision for people over 60. And you might be surprised to discover that one of them could already be sitting in your refrigerator right now. Before we talk about specific foods, it's important to understand why lutein has received so much attention from nutrition experts and researchers, especially when it comes to the health of people over 60. Lutein is a natural carotenoid, a group of antioxidant compounds commonly found in leafy greens and in yellow or orange plant foods. But what makes lutein particularly special is not only its antioxidant ability. What is even more remarkable is where it accumulates in the body. Studies show that lutein mainly concentrates in 2 very important areas: the retina of the eye and certain regions of the brain associated with memory, attention, and information processing speed. This means that this nutrient not only supports vision, but also plays a role in how the brain receives and processes what we see. In the eyes, lutein acts like a natural light filter. It helps absorb some of the high-energy blue light that can place stress on visual cells over time. At the same time, lutein helps reduce oxidative stress in the retina, particularly in the macula, the part responsible for seeing fine details, reading small print, and recognizing faces. But the story doesn't stop with the eyes. Scientists have also discovered that lutein can accumulate in brain tissue, especially in areas involved in focus and information coordination. A study published in the journal Nutritional Neuroscience found that older adults with higher levels of lutein in their blood often performed better on tests measuring mental switching ability and the brain's reaction speed. Simply put, lutein acts like a quiet supporter, helping nerve cells function more smoothly while allowing the eyes to process light more efficiently. The challenge is that over time, lutein levels in the body tend to decline. When the diet lacks lutein-rich foods, the protective pigment layer in the retina can gradually thin, and nerve cells may become more vulnerable to oxidative stress. The good news is that our bodies can still replenish lutein quite easily through everyday nutrition. And interestingly, many foods that contain lutein are not unfamiliar at all. They are simple ingredients you can find in almost any kitchen. Next, we'll start with a very familiar food that is often overlooked. A leafy green that many people only think about when making a salad. But in reality, it is one of the richest natural sources of lutein for both the brain and the eyes. Number 1. Romaine lettuce. When people think about foods that support vision and brain health, many often imagine expensive superfoods or special supplements. But sometimes the answer can be found in something very familiar: romaine lettuce. This leafy green is commonly used in salads. It's light, crisp, refreshing, and easy to eat. However, what many people don't realize is that romaine lettuce contains a relatively high amount of lutein while being very low in calories, making it one of the ideal choices for older adults who want to support both brain and eye health. Interestingly, the lutein found in romaine doesn't only support vision, it is also connected to brain function. Nutritional research shows that lutein tends to accumulate in areas of the brain responsible for attention, focus, and information processing speed. When nerve cells are constantly active, they produce free radicals that can lead to oxidative stress. Lutein acts as a natural protective layer, helping reduce that stress and supporting communication between nerve cells. For the eyes, the benefits of romaine lettuce become even clearer. Lutein is an important component of the protective pigment layer in the macula, the central part of the retina responsible for seeing fine details. As this protective layer gradually declines with age, many people begin to experience familiar issues such as blurry vision in dim lighting, difficulty reading small print, or eyes that tire more quickly when focusing on something for a long time. Some nutritional studies suggest that when older adults increase their intake of lutein-rich foods for several months, contrast sensitivity in the eyes, the ability to distinguish details in low light, can improve significantly. This is important because many people don't completely lose their vision. Instead, things simply become less clear over time. There is also a small detail that many people overlook when eating lutein-rich vegetables like romaine lettuce. Lutein is a fat-soluble nutrient, which means the body absorbs it better when it is eaten together with a small amount of healthy fat. Even a small change can make a difference. For example, adding a teaspoon of olive oil to your salad, eating it with a boiled egg, or including a few slices of avocado. These simple combinations help the body absorb lutein far more effectively than eating the vegetables on their own. Some older adults even share that when they begin maintaining the habit of eating a light bowl of romaine salad in the evening, after a few weeks they notice something interesting. Their eyes feel more comfortable in the morning and reading small print becomes easier. It isn't a miracle that happens overnight, but rather the result of giving the body the nutrients it needs on a consistent basis. And romaine lettuce is only the beginning. Number 2. Green peas. These small green peas often appear in soups, stews, or simply as a side dish at dinner. But behind their simple appearance lies a very remarkable nutritional combination, especially for people over 60. What makes green peas special is that they contain two important carotenoids, lutein and zeaxanthin. These two nutrients often work together like a protective pair for the retina. While lutein helps absorb some blue light and reduce oxidative stress in the eyes, zeaxanthin helps strengthen the protective pigment in the macula, the area that allows us to see fine details, recognize faces, and read text. But the benefits of green peas go beyond the eyes. Another interesting feature of this food is that it also contains vitamin B1, thiamine, an important nutrient for the nervous system. Vitamin B1 helps support the transmission of signals between nerve cells, much like keeping the body's electrical wiring running smoothly. When levels of this vitamin are sufficient, the brain can process information more quickly and respond more flexibly to changes in the surrounding environment. In addition, green peas have another advantage that many older adults appreciate. They have a relatively low glycemic index. This means that after eating them, blood sugar rises more slowly and steadily compared to many other carbohydrate-rich foods. This stability is important because large fluctuations in blood sugar can affect the brain's energy levels and may even reduce concentration and coordination between the eyes and the brain. Some nutritional studies also suggest that green peas contain a form of lutein with fairly high bioavailability, meaning the body can absorb and use this nutrient quite effectively. Combined with the fiber and plant-based protein found in peas, this small food becomes a well-balanced source of nutrition that supports both nervous system health and visual health. What surprises many people is that you don't need to eat a large amount to gain the benefits. Just about half a cup of steamed or lightly sautéed green peas at dinner can provide a meaningful amount of lutein and other nutrients. Green peas are also relatively easy to digest, making them a suitable option for older adults who prefer a lighter evening meal while still maintaining proper nutrition. Some people also enjoy combining green peas with leafy greens or adding them to salads for extra flavor. Simple preparations like these not only make meals more enjoyable, but also provide a range of nutrients that support the body overnight, while natural recovery processes take place. However, there is still one more food that often surprises people when it comes to lutein. It isn't a leafy green, but rather a warm yellow food that is familiar in many family meals. And among common foods, it is actually one of the most notable natural sources of lutein and zeaxanthin for aging eyes. Number 3. Corn. With its warm yellow color and naturally sweet taste, corn has long been a familiar food in many households. But behind that simple flavor lies a source of nutrients that is especially valuable for eye health as we move past the age of 60. Corn contains relatively high amounts of lutein and zeaxanthin, two important carotenoids that are directly connected to the health of the macula, also known as the central area of the retina. This is the part of the eye that allows us to see fine details such as printed words, faces, or objects at a distance. As the protective pigment layer in the macula gradually declines with age, many people begin to notice familiar changes. Images become less sharp, bright light causes discomfort, or it becomes harder to see clearly in low-light conditions. The carotenoids found in corn act like a natural filter, helping reduce the impact of high-energy light before it reaches the sensitive visual cells. At the same time, they help reduce oxidative stress, one of the factors that contributes to the aging process of the retina. A study published in the journal Nutrients found that older adults who had higher levels of lutein and zeaxanthin in their diets often showed better contrast sensitivity. This means the eyes can distinguish more clearly between light and dark areas, making it easier to read, recognize objects, or move around in dim lighting. But what's interesting is that the benefits of corn don't stop with the eyes. After being absorbed, a portion of lutein can travel to the visual cortex, the area of the brain responsible for processing the images that the eyes see. When this region functions well, recognizing objects, judging distance, and tracking movement become more accurate. That is why the health of the eyes and the brain is always closely connected. Corn also has another advantage that many older adults appreciate. It is easy to eat and easy to prepare. Just one boiled ear of corn or a small bowl of steamed corn kernels can provide a meaningful amount of carotenoids. When eaten with a little healthy fat such as olive oil or a small amount of real butter, the absorption of these nutrients can improve even further. However, the way corn is prepared also matters. Boiled corn, steamed corn, or lightly roasted corn usually retains more nutrients than highly processed products. Foods like popcorn with heavy oils or artificial butter may taste appealing, but they don't offer the same nutritional value as whole natural corn. What's especially noteworthy is that when lutein-rich foods such as romaine lettuce, green peas, and corn appear regularly in your meals, they can create a nutritional combination that supports both the eyes and the brain. There's no need to completely change your entire diet. Simply adding these foods consistently can gradually provide the nutrients your body needs to maintain important functions over time. And that's exactly why, in the next part, we'll talk about something very simple that is often overlooked: the timing and the way these foods are combined in your daily meals. With just a few small adjustments at dinner, you may help your body make better use of these valuable nutrients during the hours of rest overnight. There's an interesting detail that many people often overlook. The timing of when you eat can also influence how the body uses nutrients. Especially with lutein-rich foods, adding them to your evening meal can sometimes provide clearer benefits for older adults. Nighttime is when the body enters a state of rest and recovery. While we sleep, many important processes take place. Cells are repaired, the nervous system reorganizes information, and the eyes also have a chance to recover after a long day of exposure to light. When the body has already been supplied with nutrients, like lutein from a previous meal, these processes can take place more smoothly. A simple but nutritious dinner might include a fresh romaine salad with a little olive oil, a small portion of steamed green peas, and a few spoonfuls of boiled corn. This combination isn't heavy, but it still provides plenty of carotenoids, fiber, and nutrients that support the nervous system. What matters most is not eating large amounts, but maintaining consistency. When these foods become a familiar part of your daily meals, the body gradually builds up the nutrients it needs to support vision and mental clarity over time. And sometimes it's small habits like these that make the biggest difference for health after the age of 60. As we move past the age of 60, many people begin to worry that mental sharpness or clear vision will gradually decline over time. But in reality, our bodies still have the ability to adapt and recover when they receive the right nutrients. Sometimes the difference doesn't come from complicated or expensive solutions, but simply from the small choices we make in our daily meals. The three familiar foods we've just discussed, romaine lettuce, green peas, and corn, are all natural sources of lutein that help support both eye and brain health. When they are included regularly in the diet, they can help protect the retina, support concentration, and help the body maintain mental clarity over time. If you found the information in this video helpful, take a moment to share in the comments. What foods do you usually eat to support your eye health and brain function? Your experiences might be helpful to many others as well. And if you'd like to continue discovering simple but effective nutrition habits for staying healthy after 60, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next tips we share. Taking care of your health is never too late, and every small choice you make today can lead to a healthier future.